Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to compare, and this will probably be the best comparison that I could do. Because, no, here's the thing, there are other sim like games out there, and I will talk on those games, but for the sake of this episode, I am going to mainly be talking about the probably longest running franchise simulator game, The Sims, and then the latest game to hit the scenes where I'm like, fam, you're giving the EA a run for their money. Like cause here, man, I'm telling you, like InZOI, that is a game that it seems like as if it almost like we didn't deserve it. You know, having it where they got a 3D printer. Like, that's something where, like, kid me, like, cause see, here's the thing. All right, so you know what? Actually, before I even get to talking about InZOI, I feel like I need to tell you guys my history with The Sims, because that's a game that I grew up playing. So, anyways, I remember I think it was like one of the first few times no, actually, yeah, it was when the very first, cause the very first Sims game that came out in the early 2000s, I think. Hold on for a second. The Sims one video game. Yeah, it came out in PC. So yeah, it came out in the year 2000. I remember that was like the first time I had ever heard of that game. So unfamiliar with it, but I remember seeing my sister play the game a lot. So eventually I ended up getting into it and stuff. So anyways, fast forward, The Sims 2 comes out, and I would have to say that was probably my favorite Sims game of all time. Like, that's why recently when they said that they were remastering and re-releasing The Sims 2, oh, I was front and center when it came to that game coming out, and then sadly got disappointed when the game was like it. My thing is this, all right, and I have my issues. I've been having my issues with EA for the longest. I had to say I didn't really notice anything because yeah, you had like a one and like only one opportunity to release a game and it being good. If you release a game and it was bad, then it's like, fam, what do you guys have going on? Like, it was unheard of a bad video game to come out during the PlayStation 2 era and stuff. But yeah, overall, The Sims 2 came out, put a bunch of hours into that game. Then I remember asking for the Sims 2 pet, which is pretty much the Sims 2. It just got dogs, and I think they had cats, but I mainly had just used dogs and stuff. But anyways, then they had it where the Sims 2 came out on the PSP. So I played that game a couple of times. I think it was at least like maybe 2 or 3 times. I was like, I had played and beat that game. Like, that's how fun that was. So yeah, I'm telling you, like, I was a fan. I had to say probably, yeah, it would be a toss up between The Sims 2, and then they did one with, like, it was like, I think it was supposed to be like the Black Eyed Peas, like it was a collaboration, but it was like the Herbs or something like that. But regardless, I'm like, those in my opinion were like, I wonder if they got that on Steam, because if they got a PC version of that, which they probably don't. How do you spell Herbs? Herbs. Hold on for a second. Maybe if I just type up The Sims, then all the games will pop up. They just got a gang of DLCs for The Sims 4, and I'm like, bro, you know I ain't gonna look for it. I'm like, that's doing too much, all right? So, but anyways, then yeah, overall, I have my history there with The Sims. Like, I would say that I have been playing The Sims all my life, and then recently with their game. So I never really got into 4. I think I tried, but I wasn't feeling it. It just, to me, I'm like, and I don't know, maybe they do have that third person view where you get to control your character, because that's what I had liked about the game so much, because I think that was like one of the main reasons why I didn't really play the PC version. Like, I got more into the console version because you were able to move your character around with your controller and stuff, versus you gotta aim at a part of the floor to have it where your character walks there. And I'm like, bruh, why not just have it where my character, I could just control him? Like, I would, why I gotta have it where I gotta click on certain areas? That's doing too much. So, anyways, but yeah, that's what I had liked about the game so much. So yeah, just talking like on my recent experience with The Sims. And you know what? Actually, before I even talk on that, I need to overall get on my history with EA games, because I had to say, ever since the Xbox 360 era, I have always had issues with EA games. And it trips me out. I'm like, how is it that you guys it was, you could not. I mean, and it seemed like it would have been against the law for you guys to come out with an unfinished video game or a video game that don't properly work, buggy, glitchy, all that stuff. That was unheard of. That was a no can do in the gaming universe. You cannot come out with a video game that doesn't properly work. Seems like that's all that their games are about now, you know? But anyways, I remember one game that had me going off, and I still have that video up till this day, is Skate 2. That is a video game where I'm like, fam, it should be a fun game, all right? And that game, Skate, that's a game where it's only fun with friends. But playing it by yourself is pointless. You know, yeah, there's like some fun moments that you can have when playing with yourself. Eventually, it gets old. You have to end up playing with friends at some point in time. But that was the problem, was that my friends are going to get into other games. Like, that's the thing about Skate, is that there isn't no, like, there is a foundation there, but at the same time, I'm like, bruh, when I sit down and I think of just even kind of comparing two video games within a comparison video game episode, Skate and the Tony Hawk Underground series. Even if we're just, I mean, like, they came out with so many different Tony Hawk games. I mean, they got American Wasteland, the original Pro Skater series. I'm trying to think of some other, Project 8. You know, they had all these different Tony Hawk games, and it's like with Skate, it was just the three. One, I don't even remember coming out. Two, I ended up getting that after I played 3. And then of course I played, and I have to say that was probably the one that I put the most amount of hours in. And I think my friend had let me borrow Skate 3. But yeah, overall though, you got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. You got Tony Hawk American Wasteland, Tony Hawk Underground 1 and 2. You got Tony Hawk Project 8. You even had that Tony Hawk game that came with this like skateboard where you could skateboard from the comfort of your home. How many video games have done stuff like that? So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, man, you know, when I look at games like that, and then when I look at the games, hold on for a second, I gotta take my watch off because I'm getting messages and stuff. But anyways, and then I look at Skate, and it just seems like that EA, it's like they came out with a skateboarding game, but there's just a lot of, and they've been hyping up this new Skate game that's supposedly coming out, and I'm like, I'll wait and see on that. You know, but I'm not gonna have, because my thing is this, all right? So now, there's still some games, like some honorable mentions. I know the one game that really had me stressing a lot. I feel like every EA game done had me stressed out at some point in time. When you look at games like Battlefield, I would have to say I did have somewhat of an okay experience with Battlefield. With 2042, that game ain't even have no campaign mode. So I'm like, okay, there's my issues with that. Apex Legends, that's a game that you could only play with friends. And I'm like, it seems like that's what a lot of EA games, like what they're designed for, is it's either you continuously keep, like, because if we're talking like their sport games, like their soccer, because it's like, it's going by like FC now, like FC 25 or whatever instead of FIFA. But yeah, when you look at their soccer, Madden, they haven't even came out with a basketball game, I think, what was it, since 2018, 2019? And I'm like, that basketball game was good. It was like comparing it to NBA 2K. Yeah, NBA Live was actually pretty decent, but it seemed like they're all like, and I think that's a thing though with them, is that when they release a good game, they just stop. They're like, nope, like, cause Skate 3, I would have to say, out of all the Skate games, Skate 3 was probably the best. Look at how long ago that game came out. And then Titanfall 2, that was probably one of EA's like best games of all time. What they decided is that we're going to turn it into a quote unquote free to play, but you're gonna have to pay for all these different cosmetic things in the game. But overall, we're gonna turn Titanfall 2 into a free to play battle royale. And look how that turned out, where you got it where people still to this day want another Titanfall game. And I'm actually concerned on what that game would overall be about. But anyways, I'm trying to think of some other games that Madden, I mean, it was all right, I guess. Like, I can't really have too much of an opinion on the last one. Although I think it did get me to a moment where I ended up having to rage quit. and yeah, just stop playing the game because I'm like, nope, this game ain't good for my mental health. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this game and play something else. I'm like, they need to get their act together, you know. So, but overall, I will say this much: I had to say probably the reason why it was such a forgettable moment is because EA, like, they through Xbox, they have like their membership where you can play some of their games like a trial thing. So yeah, you could get to play like probably 5 or however many hours. You get to play a little bit of the games. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, they do have that, so you don't really have to buy none of their games and stuff. I mean, well, I guess after them 5 hours, you know you like it. But that was the thing, though. I'm like, I think even with the college football game, and I was like, yeah, the last one they did of that, it was good. And then look how long it took for them to come out with another one. So that, and then it's like the main games that they just continuously keep pushing out is Madden. I think, yeah, they're soccer games. Oh, and then they bought Codemasters. And for some odd reason, it's like, and there's games that Codemasters, one game in particular that I'm like, fam, a part 2 of that game will hit for the racing community. All right, we don't have to, because how much is the first one going for? Hold on for a second. Like, I'm really going in on EA right now because I feel like somebody needs to. But anyway, so there's this game that Codemasters came out with called Fuel. I luckily I did find that game, a copy of it on Amazon for the Xbox 360, where I didn't have to spend, how much are they asking for? $209 on one website and $231 on another website. Fam, Jordans, iconic Jordans on top of that, cost less than this game, alright? Now, when you sit down and you do the math and you see which product stood out more than the other, Jordans by far stood out more than the video game Fuel. And you mean to tell me, all right, I imagine that EA, you guys, hold on for a second. Let me just see how much is the Jordan brand making a year. The Jordan brand, a Nike subside diary, whatever that word is, generated $6.5 billion. How much is EA making a year? So it was 5.6 for them, 7.6 for EA. And you mean to tell me you guys can't set however much money aside to develop a sequel or even you know what? No, don't do no more remasters, all right? If my thing is this, if you do a remaster of Fuel, I really don't know how you could possibly go wrong with that. But if so, you guys need to have it where the game is free, or it's like $10 or something. So at least then I'm like, I'm not spending, because how much was The Sims 2 remastered? I think that game, it was less than InZOI. I'm going to get to talking about InZOI here in a minute. But anyways, The Sims, so they have it where it's $29.99, a game that came out 20 years ago, and they charging $30 for that game. But my thing is this though, you charge $30 for that game, and I couldn't even play that game properly. Like, was that an actual, when I think of remastered, I think of how they did Mafia. You know, I'm trying to think of some other games that had proper remasters. I mean, I guess if you want to throw that in there, Grand Theft Auto, The Last of Us. I'm trying to think of some other games that had remasters. I'm saying, like, there are some, even though that game almost broke my PC, looking at the graphics back then versus now, but Black Hawk Down, you know, the graphics on that game was decent. I will say that that is a game that I would definitely avoid. You know, I would rather play every single EA game than to play Black Hawk Down, that Delta Force game, because that game, yeah, it was like, it did something to my PC, and I'm like, I will never play that game again. So, but anyways, yeah, but it's like, EA, I'm trying to, what overall the point that I'm trying to make is that you guys make all of this money and you put out some of the most mediocre games of all time. And so, getting to the video game InZOI, out of nowhere, it's one of those games where we seen a trailer, but we wasn't, like, I guess not so much as, like, into it, but we wasn't, like, fully supportive of the trailer. It's like, oh, okay, another Sims game coming out. All right, oh well, and then that's when EA, they announced. Maybe EA always knew that this game was gonna be good. That's why they did this remaster of The Sims 1 and 2. But overall, but yeah, those two games come out. So of course, I feel like any attention that was on InZOI was taken away, and it was focused back on EA and their Sim series. Because it's like, oh, wait a minute, they're coming out with The Sims 1 and 2, two good games. So anyways, we all seen how that turned out. So then at that point, I feel like people in the just simulation universe, we either just disappeared, or a lot of well, I ain't gonna say a lot of us, but I know that there's some of you guys that play The Sims 4. So and it's crazy how that game ain't gonna be good unless it has mods in it. That to me is just sad. But no, overall, InZOI gets announced that it's coming out here soon. All right, so I wasn't really watching no videos or no content on it until the day of, when it had came out, and I started watching some TikToks, and I seen all this content that this game had on day one, having it. No, this is probably by far the most coolest thing I have seen in video game history. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are familiar with emotes. Like, I don't know, there might be some of you guys where you play video games and they don't really have emotes. But to explain to you guys what an emote is, I feel like I shouldn't have to, but just to overall explain to it what it is. So, but you know what? No, I don't even need to explain it. I'm pretty sure you heard of like Fortnite dances, and you done seen kids doing some old weird dance, and they're like, oh, I'm doing that dance from Fortnite. That's what an emote is, right? So overall, they have this feature in there called AI motion. You can take a TikTok video of some dance that you like. Anytime when you watch some, I wonder if I can make my character do a backflip. Because I'm saying, like, I ain't never seen it before, but I'm curious to see what will happen, But overall, though, they have this thing in there called AI motion, where you can take a TikTok dance, or whatever dance you done seen, all right? You possibly could recreate the whole ending sequence or scene, and you got served. But overall, nah, that might be too much, because I think it only collects up to like not a few seconds, but like the duration of a TikTok. So like maybe like 15-30 seconds. It does take a little while for it to capture it. But your character that you create, and I'm gonna talk on character customization. I mean, The Sims, like, that's one thing about it. It's such an iconic game for its character customization, building homes, the activities that you can do in there, just all the different things. But InZOI, they have it where you can, so there's the AI motion where you can take whatever dance that you've seen or whatever emote. You can even come up with your own emote and add it into the game, all right? So overall, like, yeah, if you got some ideas, put it in the game, But no, then that's another thing that they have that I just seen. They have a 3D printer feature where I could, so like, let's say it's my like all-time favorite pair of Jordans, the Bread 11s, and I'm like, oh man, I wish that they had like licensed shoes in the game. Oh man, dang, well, I guess I'll just have to use whatever shoes they do have in the game. Nah. No. They said that. Well, they didn't, like, I didn't hear them say it, but there was probably like, I would assume that the conversation went like this, bro. Let's just have it where it's like a mod system in the game where it's a 3D printer, but overall it can be whatever it is that person wants. Fam, I seen a person 3D print a purse, and then I seen the one person where they had 2 pairs of Jordans. So that was enough for me to be like, I know what I'm doing tonight. I'm putting my favorite pair of Jordans in. No, I'm not even favorite pair. It is going to be I'm going to be a sneakerhead in InZOI, pretty much. So that's how that goes. But overall, they do have it set up where it plays, and I have to say that they do need to come out with some updates to overall fix it. But it plays like Grand Theft Auto. Like, you can drive around. You can actually, in a matter of fact, the game auto drives for you. So you don't even have to drive around if you don't want to. But they do have that option. And what else do they have? Oh, you can work out in the game. You can read books. You can write in your journal. My character, I think he's schizophrenic because he just be randomly arguing with himself. But overall, though, I have been having fun with this game. And I'm saying, like, this is something, this is rare. This is rare for me to play a game as soon as it comes out and I'm having fun with it. Because there are so many different games where day one of it coming out, developers want to leave this out. Developers want to leave that out. Developers don't want to listen to people. Developers just want to come out with whatever. These guys knew that they're like, hey, we got to come out with a game that people can talk about. And the first, not maybe the second day this game was out, it was trending on Twitter. This game currently has a very positive rating on Steam. Hold on for a second. Let me just see real quick. Maybe they might have updated it or changed it. No, it's still at a very positive rating on Steam. And let's just see where The Sims is at. I wish they just had playable, okay, here we go. All right, so they do have it where it's just like this, the Sims games. All right, so anyways, The Sims 4. Okay, very positive. I can respect that. I can respect that. It's a very positive settings. The Sims Legacy Collection. Does this come with both Sims 1 and 2? Oh, no, I think this is just the Sims 1. When the game came out, it was, all reviews, mixed. The recent reviews, yeah, because I think, yeah, they did some sort of update where they must have fixed the game and stuff. But overall, now it's at a very positive. But what about, let's see, The Sims 2... That's probably EA's like last good game is this game that they came out with called Split Fiction. Yeah, that's probably I would play that game, but I'm like, it's one of those. Oh, and I would say probably my last personal favorite of EA's that they came out with, and it was good, would be Dragon Age, the Veil Guard. That was a decent game. I haven't beaten it, but it was a decent game. It was a game where I'm like, I'm not upset with my purchase. But The Sims 2, mostly positive, and overall mixed reviews for the game, like all the reviews and stuff. This game, InZOI, just came out a few days ago, and I think this is the only game that these developers have worked on. Hold on for a second. Let me check real quick. InZOI Studio. Okay, so yeah, that's just a one game. Maybe publishers. Let's see what they got going on. Crafton Inc. They've done some games before. Oh, actually, they've done PUBG. I did not. That's why the game is good, because I'm like PUBG. It's all right, I guess. Like I would say that I did play a little bit of PUBG, but yeah, that PUBG, I would have to say that's the game that really kickstarted the battle royale scene and stuff. I mean, well, more so it was like the most popular game to come out of the battle royale scenes. But that's up until like, yeah, you got games like Fortnite and Apex. I mean, I think people still play PUBG, but anyways, then they did come out with a game where it was, I think it was supposed to be like, what's that game called on Nintendo? Because I think I played this game. Yeah, I did play this game. Dang, what's the name of that game? Animal Crossing. And they came out with this game called Dencum, and overall, it was a solid game from what I had played. Even them showing the trailers, yeah, it looks like it was some good stuff that they did. Oh, they're coming out with another PUBG game. Oh, it's like 5v5. It looks like a top down type game, but it's like kind of from the side and stuff. Redacted. I feel like I heard of that. All of their games. Oh, yeah, I did hear. Oh, that game didn't get good ratings. It was this game called the Callisto Protocol. Yeah, but no, they have came out with some games where they got good ratings and stuff. So yeah, InZOI, I mean, it only makes sense if that game got good ratings. I have to say the only way for this game to possibly fail and not do good anymore is if they just give up on it. And that's the thing where I'm like, this should have been, if you guys remember, because this is a game where I'm like, I'm always gonna reference it, I'm always gonna think about it and talk about it. This game, InZOI, is what the developers wanted for the day before. And that was the thing, like, I don't even feel like that InZOI didn't even get the promotion like the day before did. I mean, the day before was being posted by numerous different channels, people reacting to their trailers left and right, IGN posting their trailers. I'm saying, like, their game was, it was like the most wishlist game at some point in time. none of that was for InZOI. I feel like that this game it's a situation where the game blew up overnight because of it's like, fam, there is just all of these different things that you can do, and it's only in the first few stages. It is in like its alpha early access like way, like, I guess like path right now. And I'm like, man, when this game like fully comes out and it's like polished and they add more content and all these different, I'm telling you, I think InZOI is like it's on that grounds for being probably one of the best games, if not the best game to come out this year. I would have to say, I personally think it's the best early access game to come out this year, because I'm trying to think. Let me see what other early access games done came out this year where it's I can say, I can go back on my statement and say that, no, wait a minute, I think I have to say, even though I haven't played that game, but it does have a better rating than InZOI, but Schedule 1, or I think it's either Schedule 1 or Schedule I don't know, but overall, haven't played that game, but it looks like a game that I'll end up getting at some point in time. Do I have this game? Yeah, I have it wish list. But Repo, I would say that was but it's kind of like whatchamacallit, something Lethal Company. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Not trying to downplay it though, but yeah, that was another popular game. Let's see, what are some other games that came out this? I mean, we only a few months into the year and stuff. So I mean, oh, is this what's this all about? There's like a 3D parkour game, huh? I did not know this. When did this come? This came out on the 19th. Why did I not see nothing about this? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the library, because I'm like, I was unaware of that game. But anyways, let's see. I know people are gonna probably be all like, well, what about Wreckfest 2? That game ain't even got no content. I'm talking games that got content where it's actually good. You can play it and it's like, oh wow, like I'm having fun with this game. Not a game where it only got like 2 modes and they're expecting you to pay. How much is that game, Wreckfest 2? Hold on for a second. $23.99, and it's $29.99 outside the sale. I'm like, I would rather spend the extra $10 and play InZOI than to play that, because I'm like, it's not worth it. So, but anyways, oh yeah, there was this one game where I think it was supposed to be a Sims like game called Flatten Side Simulator. And yeah, I don't know. I wanted to get into that game, but yeah, the developers, I don't know. It's a game where I'm like, I wish them the best of luck, but you won't catch me playing that game no time soon. But anyways, let me see some other games. There might be, because there's like a lot of games that I'm seeing where I didn't buy them, where they might overall be good. But yeah, I'll have to say InZOI, it's probably not comparing it, but overall being just, in that conversation of best early access games, yeah, it'll probably be a toss-up between InZOI, Schedule I or 1, and then this Repo game. But I'm like, man, I think I'm gonna be dedicating, while everybody is playing Schedule 1 and Repo, I'm going to be playing InZOI up until this game upsets me for some odd reason, but the game has yet to do that. I will say though that they should change the how the camera works, and just overall make it to where the game is a little bit more easier for the third person players and stuff. But yeah, overall I'm like, nah man, the game is it's solid. I like it. I think it's a good game. There was one game that I played where I was thinking that it was gonna be another Sims like game, and I'm like, man, I would rather play the Sims. I would rather play the Buggy Sims 2 than to play that game. But it was this Sims like game called Denizen. And I wonder what the business is with that game right now. Because, yeah, that game, it was one of those games where I'm like, yeah, I have it in the ignored section. Because I'm like, to me, it just doesn't even make any sense. You guys, last update they came out with was in January 16th. And, oh yeah, they are, like, I guess they are trying to fix things, but I'm like, you guys should have been trying to do that game. Oh yeah, it was, no, wait a minute, this game, oh, last year. I don't know why my brain was all like, what do they mean? I was like, April 29th? Yeah, April 29th, 2024. Dang, it's only been out for, like 11 months? I don't know, maybe I just been paying attention to it for a long period of time. It feels like a game that's been out for, longer and stuff, but yeah, overall, I'm like, that's a game where I'm like, the developers, if you sit down and you listen to the fans and hear what they got to, don't wait until it's too late. And then that's when you guys want to start doing stuff, because then that's when people are going to abandon the game. Because hold on for a second. Let me just see InZOI player count. Because I think the game is only available on Steam. Hold on for a second. Oh, this is that. No, this is the demo. I was about to say, there ain't no way possible. There are 39 people. I done hyped this game up, and there's only 39 people playing this game. Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, ain't no way. So 25,000 people are playing InZOI. What about The Sims 4? So it's 25,000 for InZOI. 25,000 for, wait, who had the most? Hold on for a second. Let me see real quick. Open that up. And then The Sims 4. And then I'm going to do Denizen. Denizen Steam player count. So, okay, so there's that. 7 people playing Denizen right now. And in the past 24 hours, 25 people. And they reached an all-time peak 11 months ago where 461 people played the game. That's not good. Yeah, I get it. The game ain't as popular as InZOI and The Sims 4, but still, though, it's one of those things where I'm like, nah, man, that ain't good. But no, it looks like InZOI got more play. Yeah, they got 25,890 in InZOI, and then they got 25,461 in The Sims 4. That's crazy, man. That is some insane stuff for a game to just only be out, and I'm seeing all this content on it and stuff. Yeah, man, that's some crazy stuff. But anyways, yeah, if you guys haven't, definitely check out InZOI. Check out some content on it. I have been watching a lot of different videos on TikTok. And that's, you know what? That's a thing where I'm like, man, it's pretty much, it's something that didn't need to be added. And I can honestly see them taking it out at some point in time. All like, no, we want you guys to go get a job and earn money in this game. And I'm like, you know what? That if that's the case, then I'm going to take advantage of this as much as I possibly can. But they have, and this is by the developers. This game just only came out a few days ago. So it ain't like people already got mods for it and stuff. And if so, it's like mods that the developers like they have through their 3D printer or the AI motion thing. So overall, though, but they have a money cheat in there where you could just randomly give yourself $100,000. And I know I seen a video on TikTok where the person was talking about that. I'm like, and we were like, and they were talking about like it being somebody. I think it was either they said it in the video or it was in the comments of it being like, man, imagine if this was real life. And I was like, if this was real life and there was a way to just press a button and just give myself $100,000, by the end of the week, I'm owning Earth. I'm like, I guarantee and I promise you, I would just be sitting there. My hand would probably fall off for the amount of times I would be clicking on that button. I'm like, so maybe there might be a limit to it and things. If not, then I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, I'm gonna be using that, because no, I used it today. I finally figured out where it was at, and I used it, and I bought myself a Hyundai. Because that's another thing. They got not all of the cars are licensed, but they got Hyundai in there. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool that they got like a licensed car company in the game. I was like, for it to be a game that just came out, yeah, it definitely makes me wonder, like, this game, it's here to stay. I personally think that with InZOI, it's a game that's here to stay, and I can only just imagine like just all the different possibilities that this game could have. I'm like, yeah, this would be the one time where I would say this game got potential. All right, so. But if I had to say between the two, which one is better, if we talking like old Sims, like the ones that I played like on the PlayStation 2 and on the PSP, I don't think nothing can take that away, because that was my childhood. Like, that was like, when games were simple, it wasn't all this like, oh, let's just see how much money. Because I'm saying, like, to me, I'm like, that just seems like that's the big thing with The Sims 4 is that the game got a lot of DLCs. And I'm like, bruh, there should be no reason why that game got a sofa DLC, a lawnmower DLC, a clothing DLC, a eyebrow DLC. That game got DLCs for no reason. I'm saying, like, no, hold on for a second. Let me just open up Steam, The Sims 4. Let's just see all the city living, vampires, parenthood, cats and dogs, business and hobbies, Island Living, Get Famous, Discover University, Get Together, Get to Work, Love Struck Expansion Pack, Eco Lifestyle, Cottage Living Expansion Pack, Life and Death Expansion Pack, Horse Ranch Expansion Pack, Strangerville, Realm of Magic, Werewolf Game Pack, Outdoor Retreat, For Rent Expansion Pack, Growing Together Expansion Pack, Jungle Adventure, Everyday Sims Bundle. Why do you have all these different DLCs for this game? Like, I wonder how much it would cost. Because, yeah, they have it where the base game is free. But then if you want to get, like, all the different DLCs, hold on for a second. Like, let's say if I wanted to add all of the DLCs, they don't even have, like, a thing to add all the different DLCs for the game. But yeah, overall, I'm like, fam, it doesn't even make any sense to have that many DLCs. I'm like, bro, you guys need to chill on that. $898 just to get all the DLCs. And you know what would be mad funny? Half of these DLCs is I think already available, most likely in InZOI. So that's why I'm like, yeah, man, I'm not wasting my money on that. I'm like, I would rather play InZOI for $40 than play The Sims 4, have to spend $800. So when we're sitting down comparing like the recent games out of the boat, I'm like, yeah, InZOI might have just only came out a few days ago. So, and I think they did say that they plan on upping the price once when it leaves early access. And I'm like, I'm fine with that. I just don't want you guys to scam me later on down the road where it's like, oh, we gonna be coming out with DLCs every single week, and all of them's gonna be more than the video game itself. Yeah, that to me, I'm like, that train gotta die. That gotta stop. But anyways, but yeah, overall, old Sims, yeah, InZOI can't compete. New Sims, yeah, InZOI, it's competing and it's winning. So that's what I gotta say about that. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.